Chapter 20, Light versus Dark. Warning, this is the final chapter of this fanfic, so it will be the longest. There will be an epilogue to show what happens after this chapter is ended. But this is where it all ends. This is also the final part of Fall of the Spirit Triad. All sides turned to see the armies of the million different species leaving the portal, some familiar, while the rest were thought to be either a myth or had been thought to have been gone long extinct. But there they were in living flesh. At the same time this was all happening, Zero had just reached the royal tent when he said, while turning to one of his hoofs into an ice dagger,
"The best part about this is I have no regrets." "Good, so you won't feel bad when I do this,"
said Prince Leohart, who came out of nowhere and knocked him to the ground.
"That's for the Royal Canterlot heist."
Prince Leo had just notified the portal was opening when he turned to see noticed. The portal was open when he turned to see a huge blast of magic coming from inside the villain's lair. Amula had just managed to put Crunch the Rock Dog's relic around his neck, which turns out was some kind of a glowing ruby, when Crunch said as his eyes were becoming that of a real dog,
"So what if you manage to get this thing on me? It doesn't mean you'll win."
"Yeah, I know this. This is even the playing field," said Katrina, as she suddenly grabbed him by the tail. "You know the old phrase, the tables can turn. I've been waiting a long time for this, Crunch, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of this. Let's end this."
"Ladies first, cats first,"
growled Crunch the Rock Dog as he sent Katrina flying through a wall with a powerful fling of his tail. Amula watched the two brawl it out when she thought, while spotting her own army of bush willies had arrived and were joining the equestrian to stop the Spirit Triad's army of darkness. Amula should join the others. Katrina has this, but for how long? Amula saw the bush woolly elder was leading when he spotted her and pointed to Katrina with a wise look. With a nod, she chose to find her way towards the leader for a little chat of her own. "Good luck, Katrina. Hopefully, with all of us working to end this, we can see the war to an end as quickly as it started." Katrina saw Amula go before returning attention to Crunch the dog as she hissed, "For Equestria!" In the royal tent. "It is done! Ah!" said Artheria as she suddenly ended the power transfer and almost collapsed, but her quickly came to her side. "It's okay, I was expecting to be a bit drained from this." Once they were sure Artheria was going to be okay, the royal monarchs looked out of the tent with the two heroines, when Princess Celestia said, as the Grey took control of Rainbow Dash again with his obey ability, "The portal is already open and their forces have come through. How are we going to beat them with such an army?" "I sense that two of their leaders aren't as loyal as I thought, which could work to the next stage of my plan," said Artheria, as even her daughter turned to look at her with surprise. "The Grey doesn't feel it yet, but with you, Luna, now as his replacement, he's been weakened low enough for a banishment spell to work on him. But it won't work the same as last time, so we'll have to send him to the whole other universe." "But we're not capable of that power without the elements of harmony. Discord is more qualified," said Princess Luna, who was a little scared of facing the Grey. "You weren't able to before, but with the power transfer, you're now as powerful as him, even more, which will be enough to end this," said Artheria, before thinking about another possible problem. "But you two can't get close to him unless we turn at least some of his armies against him, which means we'll have to take down the leader. So here's the plan. I think the two leaders who are most likely to betray the others are Queen Chrysalis and Queen Wild Striker. Hey, Discord. Discord teleported in there and said with a salute while dressed up in the general's outfit.
Yes, General Discord reporting for duty.
Telius giggled at the joke, which Artheria just ignored, as she said with a slight annoyed tone, "We are ready to make our move. Your job is to get King Sombra away from Queen Chrysalis and Queen Wildstriker and keep him busy as long as you can,"
You can count on me.
said Discord before teleporting out of there in a flash of light. Artheria then turned to look at Telius, who said, while knowing what was coming, "I'm coming with you. I know this will lead me finally meeting the one responsible for how I came to you as an egg. But I can do this, even if it means we have to convince her to switch sides. Just remember, I'm here for you," said Artheria before turning to the royal sisters, who nodded before they went to join the battle. Discord managed to get King Sombra away from Queen Chrysalis and Queen Wildstriker, who were no longer on the stairs, but were about to meet with their armies in the forest area for a huge wave. "Wildstriker, we need to talk." The two queens turned to see Artheria had snuck up on them with Telius and the royal sisters, as well as a large force of their guards, when Wildstriker said, while grinning at her former mentor, "Well, it's about time you joined the fight, but I doubt fighting the former Spirit of Light would be a challenge."